On a bright sunny morning of summer, New York City appeared like a vibrant painting, where skyscrapers reflected the sunlight, creating sparkling streaks on the asphalt. The sounds of car horns, hurried footsteps, and murmured conversations intertwined, creating a symphony of urban life. Chloe, an 18-year-old girl, stood at the street corner, right in front of her favorite coffee shop, where every morning she began her new day with a steaming cup of cappuccino. This coffee shop was not just a place to sell drinks, it was also an artistic space, with colorful murals and gentle indie music playing from the speakers. The aroma of freshly roasted coffee wafted through the air, making it irresistible for passers-by. Chloe often sat at the window corner, where natural light poured in, creating a warm and friendly atmosphere. Although busy with serving, she always felt at ease watching the customers come in, from busy businessmen to artists seeking inspiration. Summer, with its long days and short nights, brought Chloe a sense of freedom and hope. But beneath that bright facade, she felt lonely. Her family was preparing for a vacation in Miami, a place she had long dreamed of visiting. But when she heard the news that she wouldn't be joining, Chloe's heart felt like it was being squeezed. The feeling of being abandoned and unrecognized as part of the family was gradually growing within her. While her peers were eagerly preparing for the holiday, Chloe could only see pictures and posts on social media, where people shared joyful moments by the beach. Every time she scrolled through Instagram, she felt a sharp pain in her heart, like a reminder of the emotional deprivation from her family. New York City, with its hustle and bustle, seemed unable to diminish Chloe's loneliness. She decided that if no one wanted to take her along, she would explore the world on her own. With a soul yearning for freedom and experience, Chloe knew that her journey would begin right here, in the heart of the city she loved, where anything was possible. Chloe is a sensitive and deep person, always perceiving the small things around her. Her personality is somewhat introverted, but very warm and sincere. She often spends time listening to her friends and family, always ready to share their stories and feelings. However, this sensitivity also makes her vulnerable, especially when she feels abandoned or unacknowledged. Chloe lives with her parents in a small apartment in Brooklyn, where the living space is cramped but filled with memories. Her family is always busy with work, and although they love each other, sometimes Chloe feels like she is an indispensable part but forgotten in their lives. She often spends time in a cafe where she can feel freer and more comfortable. Chloe's biggest goal is to seek recognition and love from her family, but alongside that, she also longs to explore the outside world. With a heart full of hope and a soul yearning for freedom, Chloe decides that her trip will not only be a vacation but also a journey of self-discovery. She wants to prove that she can overcome barriers and explore new things, not only for herself but also to find her place in her family and in this vast world. When the sunlight streamed through the cafe window, Chloe sat quietly beside her cup of coffee, her heart heavy as she saw photos of friends posted on social media. The joyful moments by the Miami beach, with the clear blue water and bright sky, made her feel as if she were trapped in a small box, far from the outside world. The loneliness surged, and jealousy for her friends who were enjoying their vacation only deepened her sense of abandonment. That evening, when her family returned from the farewell party before the trip, Chloe couldn't contain her emotions. She questioned her parents about why they hadn't taken her along, and their cold answer broke her heart: "You're too young to go on such a long trip." These words struck like a knife, embedding in Chloe's mind that she was not mature enough to be part of her family's life. Determined not to let this pain control her, Chloe began planning a trip of her own. She researched interesting places in the city, from outdoor concerts to art exhibitions. But as she prepared for her trip, a surprising secret from her family's past emerged, complicating everything. Would Chloe have enough courage to face this truth and find her own path? Chloe decided that she could not let sadness and loneliness dominate her life. After spending the whole night planning, She decided to take a solo trip to a nearby city where she could freely explore and seek new things. She chose New Orleans, a city famous for its rich culture, vibrant music, and hidden secrets. Chloe felt excited, but also very anxious. Would she be able to face the outside world without the support of family or friends? When she arrived in New Orleans, Chloe was overwhelmed by the beauty and liveliness of the city. The crowded streets with the sound of jazz music echoing everywhere made her feel like she was living in a movie. However, fear and feelings of loneliness always lingered. She remembered conversations with friends about the joyful moments that now felt missing. Chloe reminded herself that this was an opportunity to find herself, but each step she took made her feel more lost. One afternoon, while wandering in the French Quarter, Chloe accidentally met a girl named Mia. Mia was a street artist, with green hair and a unique style. They quickly became friends, and Chloe felt like she had found a soulmate. Mia took Chloe to explore the wonderful places known only to locals. They enjoyed the city's signature dishes together, from gumbo to beignet. And Chloe felt like she was living every moment to the fullest. However, the joy did not last long. One evening, while sitting in a bar listening to music, Chloe unexpectedly met an old friend from Brooklyn, Jake. He was a songwriter, and his presence made Chloe feel confused. Jake was always someone she had feelings for, but the memories of their relationship that never developed flooded back. Chloe didn't know what to do when faced with the person she had once liked, but now she was trying to find herself. Jake was also performing in New Orleans, and he invited Chloe to come see the show. She felt excited and anxious, but also could not refuse. The concert took place in a lively atmosphere. And when Jake stood on stage, Chloe felt her heart pounding. He sang the songs they had once shared, and the memories rushing back made her feel like she was standing in the middle of a storm of emotions. After the performance, Jake found Chloe, and they had a long conversation. He asked about her life, about why she came to New Orleans. Chloe decided to share about her feelings of abandonment and the longing to find herself. Jake listened and shared his own struggles, that he too was on a journey to find the meaning of life. This conversation made Chloe feel closer to Jake, but also confused about what she truly wanted. When Chloe returned to the hotel, she felt exhausted but also full of emotions. She wondered if she should go back to Brooklyn and face her family, or continue her journey of self-discovery. She knew she had to make a decision, but didn't know how. The next day, Chloe decided to join a creative art workshop that Mia had introduced. In the workshop, she met many other creatives, each with their own story. A woman named Lila shared about her journey of self-discovery through art, and this touched Chloe's heart. Lila said, "Sometimes, we need to lose a part of ourselves to find what truly matters." These words resonated in Chloe's mind, making her feel like she was standing at an important crossroads. When the workshop ended, Chloe decided she would not give up on this journey. She wanted to learn more about herself, and maybe she would find answers to the questions she was asking. She and Mia explored the city, engaged in artistic activities, and sought new experiences. With each passing day, Chloe felt herself growing stronger, but the worry about her family and her relationship with Jake still loomed. One evening, Chloe and Mia decided to join a street festival. The cheerful atmosphere and lively music made everyone join in the fun. However, amidst the crowd, Chloe suddenly spotted her parents. They had come to New Orleans to find her, and this made her feel like everything was falling apart. She didn't know how to face them, and a wave of fear washed over her. As her parents approached, Chloe felt like she was standing between two worlds. On one side was family, where she always craved recognition, and on the other was the self-discovery journey she had begun. Her mother's voice rang out, "Chloe, we have been very worried about you. Why didn't you tell us where you were?" This question was like a knife, making Chloe feel backed into a corner. The dialogue between them became tense, and Chloe felt like she couldn't breathe. She wanted to talk about her feelings, about the loneliness and pain she had endured, but couldn't find the words. Instead, she just stood silently, feeling like everything was passing by without her control. Finally, Jake appeared beside Chloe, like a savior. He stood up to protect her, saying that she had found herself and was on a journey of exploration. Jake's words made Chloe feel like she was not alone. But it was at this moment that she realized she needed to face her family herself and could not rely on someone else to solve her issues. Chloe decided she would not run away anymore. She took a deep breath and began to speak about her feelings, about the things she had gone through. She spoke about her loneliness, her longing to find herself, and the things she had discovered during this journey. Every word was like a step forward, a way to free herself from the burdens she had felt all this time. The dialogue between them was tense, but also full of emotion. Gradually, her parents began to understand that Chloe was no longer the little girl they once knew, but a grown woman seeking her place in the world. They realized that they needed to respect her decisions and support the journey she was pursuing. When the conversation ended, Chloe felt like she had shed a great weight. She found not only recognition from her family but also from herself. The journey of self-discovery was not only about exploring the outside world but also about accepting the imperfect parts of herself. While Chloe is enjoying her journey exploring New Orleans, one day she decides to participate in an art market in the Marigny neighborhood. This is where local artists showcase their works, from paintings to handicrafts. And Chloe feels excited to immerse herself in this creative atmosphere. She hopes to find inspiration for herself and connect with like-minded people. As she strolls through the stalls, she is drawn to a large painting by an artist named Leo. The painting depicts a vibrant scene of the city, with winding streets and colorful buses. The liveliness in the artwork makes Chloe feel as if she is stepping into another world. She stands admiring the painting, feeling the emotions that the artist has conveyed through each brushstroke. Leo, a middle-aged man with a warm smile, notices Chloe's attention and approaches her. They begin to chat, and Chloe feels as if she has found a kindred spirit. Leo shares about his journeys, from traveling everywhere to finding creative inspiration. He says that each painting tells a story, and art is his way of connecting with the world around him. As the conversation unfolds, Leo asks Chloe why she came to New Orleans. She shares her feelings of loneliness and a longing to find herself. Leo listens and suggests to her that sometimes unexpected encounters can change our lives. He recounts a time when he met a young artist in Paris, who helped him discover his own artistic style. Sometimes, just a different perspective. A timely word can open new doors, Leo says. Chloe feels these words resonate within her. She realizes that the journey of finding oneself is not just about exploring the outside world, but also about opening up to those around her. Leo has helped her see that everyone she meets can bring a valuable lesson. When the market comes to an end, Leo invites Chloe to join an art exhibition he will hold that weekend. Chloe feels excited but also nervous, as she has never participated in such a large art event. However, Leo encourages her that this will be a great opportunity to connect with other artists and learn more about herself. That weekend, Chloe arrives at the exhibition feeling anxious. As she steps into the art-filled space, she feels as if she has wandered into a new world. The diverse and unique artworks excite her. Leo introduces Chloe to many other artists, and she begins to converse, sharing her thoughts and feelings. One of the artists Chloe meets is Sarah, a young woman full of energy, who is also searching for herself through art. They quickly become friends and explore the artworks at the exhibition together. Sarah shares about the challenges she has faced in her creative journey, and Chloe feels as though she is not alone in this struggle. As the exhibition progresses, Chloe decides to challenge herself by participating in a painting workshop. She has never painted before, but the feeling of excitement and anticipation is irresistible. In the workshop, she experiences the freedom of holding the brush on the paper. Each stroke feels like a way to release the emotions that have built up over time. When looking at her painting, Chloe feels a completely new sensation. This is not just a work of art, but also a part of herself. Leo and Sarah stand beside her, encouraging her and praising her creativity. Such compliments feel like a boost to her spirit, helping her feel more confident in her abilities. Chloe sat on a bench in a small park in New Orleans, sunlight shining down highlighting the lush green leaves. She gazed into the distance, where children were playing, laughter echoing in the air. A feeling of loneliness welled up inside her, like an endless wave rolling in. Although there were many people around, Chloe felt isolated, as if she were standing outside her own life. When thinking about the reason she came here, Chloe felt a deep sadness. She had left Brooklyn, where she once felt safe, to find herself. But now everything seemed to become even more vague. She missed the days back home, when family meals were filled with laughter and care. But now, she felt like an outsider. No longer the girl that her family once loved and protected. Fear and anxiety were always present in Chloe's mind. She wondered if she was capable enough to overcome the difficulties in this life. The feeling of not being mature enough, not strong enough to face the outside world made her feel trapped in a cocoon. She longed for freedom, to explore, but was scared of the uncertainty of the future. When she met Leo and Sarah, who opened up a new world for her, emotions in Chloe's heart stirred up hopes and dreams. She felt warmth and kindness from them, something she had long lacked. Conversations with them helped her realize that not everyone has to be perfect, and each person has their own pain and story. Chloe felt that she was not alone in this battle, and that made her feel more at ease. However, the anxiety about her family still haunted her mind. She feared that if she returned, everything would not be the same as before. Would her parents understand what she had gone through? Would they accept her changes? These questions kept repeating, leaving her confused and anxious. Chloe knew that she needed to confront these feelings, but she didn't know where to start. When attending a painting workshop, Chloe felt as if she were stepping into a completely new world. Every brushstroke on the paper was a way to release the emotions built up over time. She not only painted but also felt, experiencing every moment. It was a time when she rediscovered joy in creativity, a feeling she had long forgotten. Chloe realized that art was not only a means of self-expression but also a way to connect with those around her. But even in those happy moments, anxiety remained ever present. She felt like she was standing between two worlds. One side was the freedom, creativity, and new friends, and the other side was family, expectations, and responsibilities. Chloe wondered if she could find a balance between these two things. She did not want to give up her family, but she also did not want to lose herself in the process. A part of Chloe longed to return, seeking recognition from her family, but another part wanted to continue this journey, exploring the unknown. She felt like she was falling into an internal struggle between desires and fears. She wanted to become a better version of herself but did not know how to achieve that. Ultimately, Chloe decided that she needed to accept every part of herself, both the good and the flaws. She realized that the journey of self-discovery is not always easy, but it is the challenges and hardships that will help her grow. She wanted to return home, not as an innocent girl but as a strong woman, ready to face whatever life brings. Chloe took a deep breath, feeling the fresh air of New Orleans. She knew that this journey was still long, but now, she was ready to move on. She wanted to explore the world, seek new things, and most importantly, find herself. With each passing day, she felt closer to herself, and that made her feel more confident than ever. The performance night has arrived. And the atmosphere at the bar where Jake is performing has become more vibrant than ever. Chloe stands in a corner, feeling anxious and worried. The sparkling colored lights illuminate the stage where Jake is preparing for his performance. She looks at him, her heart racing, both excited and frightened. The emotions bottled up inside her feel like a storm waiting to erupt. When Jake steps onto the stage, the lights focus on him, and the sounds of the instruments play. Chloe feels as if everything around her has vanished. Only Jake remains, with his warm voice and familiar melodies. He begins to sing the songs they once shared together. And each lyric strikes her heart like an arrow. Each note evokes memories, dreams, and the pain she has tried to bury. She feels as if she is standing in the midst of a tempest, with chaotic emotions surging. The longing for the past, the desire to return, and the fear of the future intertwine. Chloe wonders if she can face these emotions or not. She recalls conversations with Leo and Sarah, who helped her realize that life isn't always perfect, but it is those challenges that make it beautiful. When Jake starts to sing a new song, one that has never appeared in their conversations, Chloe feels a surge of unease. The song carries a profound message about love and loss, and she cannot help but think that it is about her. The words like "don't lose each other" and "hold on to what matters" make her feel cornered. She cannot shake the feeling that Jake is trying to convey a message to her. And that makes her heart feel like it is stopping. When the song ends, Jake looks directly into Chloe's eyes, his gaze as if searching for an answer. Chloe feels as though everyone around her has faded away, leaving only the two of them in a silent space. She knows this is a decisive moment, where everything will change forever. But fear prevents her from speaking. She wants to say that she still loves him, that she wants to go back, but the words get stuck in her throat. Suddenly, a woman in the crowd shouts, breaking the silence. She is drunk, and her words are like a shock to Chloe. "She doesn't deserve you," she yells, pointing at Chloe. The eyes turn towards her. And Chloe feels as if she is cornered into a dark spot. Shame and worry flood her mind. She doesn't know what to do, just standing there, feeling like she is being judged by everyone. Jake, with an uncomfortable expression, steps down from the stage and approaches Chloe. "Chloe, don't listen to her," he says, but his voice isn't strong enough to dispel her fears. She feels like everything is collapsing, and the dreams she had built suddenly vanish. She turns away, tears streaming down her cheeks, and runs out of the bar. The outside air is cold, but her heart is burning with chaotic emotions. She doesn't know what she is looking for, but she knows she needs to escape from that place. Chloe runs through the crowded streets. The music and laughter seem to fade away, leaving her alone with dark thoughts. When she stops at a deserted corner, she feels as if she has lost everything. She looks up at the sky. The twinkling stars seem to mock her. "Why is everything so hard?" she whispers, her heart full of despair. She is not just running away from Jake, but also from herself. From the desires and fears that she cannot face. Chloe knows that she needs to go back, needs to face Jake, but the fear acts like a shield, preventing her from stepping forward. She feels as though she is standing at a crossroads, where every decision could change her life. She cannot let fear win, but how can she overcome it? In that moment, a strong decision forms in her heart. Chloe realizes that to find herself, she must confront these emotions, must accept both the good and the bad. She takes a deep breath, determined to return to the bar, not only to find Jake but also to find herself again. She knows this is the climax of her journey, where everything will be brought to light. Chloe took a deep breath, determined to return to the bar. Her steps gradually became more confident, although her heart was still pounding in her chest. She knew she had to face Jake, but inside she was still worried about how he would react after everything that had happened. When she entered the bar, the atmosphere had changed. The flashing lights and music were still playing. But the heavy feeling in the air made her feel like everyone was watching her. Chloe searched for Jake's figure in the crowd, and when her gaze finally met his, she felt as though time had stopped. Jake was standing in a corner, his expression full of worry, as if he was also waiting for her to return. But just at that moment, something unexpected happened. A strange woman, with an attractive and mysterious appearance, approached Jake. She whispered something in his ear, and Chloe felt like a dagger had pierced her heart. She couldn't hear what they were saying, but Jake's eyes clearly showed surprise and confusion. Chloe stood there, feeling as if everything around her was spinning. She didn't know who this woman was, but her presence felt like a shock, causing all of Chloe's plans and resolutions to suddenly vanish. Did Jake actually care about her? Had he forgotten about her, or was he simply looking for a new path in life? Emotions surged within Chloe, and she felt as though she was standing at a major crossroads. Should she confront Jake and ask about the woman, or should she silently walk away, leaving everything behind? In that moment, a big question arose in Chloe's mind. Is their love strong enough to overcome these challenges, or is it all just a shattered dream? She knew that this decision would shape her future, but she didn't know what awaited her ahead. She looked at Jake, feeling as if everything was on the verge of collapse. And inside her rose a strong desire. Do you have enough courage to face the truth or not? Chloe stood there, her heart racing as her gaze met Jake's. She felt as if everything around them had come to a halt, leaving only the two of them in the quiet space. She knew she could no longer hesitate. With determination swelling, Chloe walked towards Jake, each heavy step filled with resolve. As she got closer, she noticed a strange woman still standing next to Jake, her curious gaze fixed on Chloe. "Chloe, you made it," Jake said, his voice a mixture of relief and worry. I've been very worried about you." "So have I," Chloe replied, trying to keep her voice steady. But the anxiety within her was unmistakable. "Who is she?" she asked, pointing at the woman standing next to him. Jake looked into Chloe's eyes, then shifted his gaze to the woman. "She's Mia, an old college friend. She just moved here and wanted to see me again," Jake explained, though his voice carried a hint of awkwardness. Mia smiled, but there was something in her gaze that Chloe found disconcerting. "Hello, Chloe. I've heard a lot about you from Jake," Mia said, but Chloe couldn't sense sincerity in her words. Chloe took a deep breath, determined not to let fear take control. "Jake, I need to know the truth. I can't stand here and pretend everything is fine. I saw you talking to Mia, and it feels like I'm being pushed out," she said, her voice resonating with confidence. Jake looked at Chloe, his eyes filled with understanding. "Chloe, I had no intention of hiding anything from you. I just didn't know how to say it. I still love you," he said, each word striking straight to her heart. She felt as if all the pressure inside her had been released. "But if you love me, why let Mia appear like this?" Chloe asked, her emotions rushing. "I didn't know she would be here. I just wanted to focus on the music and what was happening. But when I saw you, I realized that you are what matters most to me," Jake said, his tone serious. Mia stood silently, no longer exuding the initial confidence. Chloe turned to look at her, and a part of her felt sympathy. "I didn't mean to cause trouble," Mia said, her tone softer. "I just wanted to see an old friend again." Chloe took a breath, feeling as if everything was starting to clear up. She looked at Jake, and in his eyes, she saw sincerity. "Then we need to have a clear conversation," she said, filled with determination. "I can't continue living in doubt. We need to clarify everything." Jake nodded, and the three of them found a quiet corner in the bar. Chloe began to share her feelings, from anxiety and fear to the beautiful memories between them. Jake listened, his eyes never leaving her, showcasing sincerity and understanding. As the conversation gradually drew to a close, Chloe felt lighter than ever. She realized that love is not just an emotion but also about trust and communication. I don't want to lose you, Jake. But I can't accept ambiguity. We need to rebuild trust, she said. Jake nodded. His eyes filled with resolve. I will do everything to prove that you are my top priority. I don't want to lose you again, he said, his voice sounding like a promise. Finally, Chloe felt like she had found light in the darkness. She understood that their relationship needed time and effort to heal, but at least they had started a new journey. With sincerity and determination, Chloe believed they could overcome any challenge. As they left the bar, the sparkling lights reflected in each other's eyes. And Chloe knew she had made the right choice. They walked towards the future together, free from doubts and fears, leaving only love and hope behind. As they walked, Jake held Chloe's hand tightly, his eyes shining with determination. Chloe, he began, I've realized that love is not just a simple emotion. It is also commitment and trust. If we cannot trust each other, then everything becomes meaningless. Chloe nodded, her heart overflowing with emotion. That's right, Jake. I've learned that communication is key. We need to share our worries and feelings. Not just in joyful times, but also during difficulties. Only then can love grow and become stronger. Jake smiled, and the warmth in his eyes made her feel at ease. And you've also shown me that there is nothing more important than understanding and accepting each other. Everyone has their own fears and desires. And understanding one another will help us overcome any challenges. Chloe felt as if she was standing before a new door, where love and trust would guide them. We cannot change the past, she said. But we can choose how to live for the present and the future. Always remember that true love requires sincerity and courage. Chloe and Jake left the bar, their hearts full of hope and determination. They had overcome misunderstandings together, but in Chloe's heart there was still a trace of worry. As they stepped outside, the starry night seemed to bless their love. But just as they were about to get into the car, a phone rang. Jake pulled out his phone, and his expression suddenly turned tense. Sorry, babe. I have to take this call, he said, and Chloe felt a wave of anxiety rise. She stood beside him, watching him talk, but couldn't hear the content clearly. Okay, I'll be right there, Jake said, his voice deepening. When he ended the call, he looked at Chloe with a serious expression. Chloe, there's an emergency. I have to meet an old friend. It's an important matter. Chloe felt her heart sink. Is it Mia? She asked, knowing that this question could hurt them both. Jake shook his head. No, it's not her. This is something else. I can't explain further right now. But I promise to tell you everything later. You can trust me. Chloe looked into Jake's eyes, searching for sincerity. I want to trust you, but I feel like there's something going on that you haven't told me. Jake held Chloe's hand, his eyes filled with determination. I'll be back soon. Just wait for me. And then, he turned away, walking quickly towards his car. Chloe stood there, feeling as if everything they had just started was falling apart. She watched Jake's figure fade into the night, her heart full of worries. What could possibly make him rush like that? She wondered if the secrets from the past were still haunting them. As Chloe turned back, a strange woman appeared from the shadows. Chloe, she called, her voice full of mystery. I need to talk to you. There are things you don't know about Jake. A sense of thrill surged within Chloe. Who are you? What do you know about him? She asked, her heart filled with suspicion. The woman smiled, her eyes seeming to hold a long story. I can't say here. But if you really love Jake, you need to know the truth. There are mysteries he has never revealed, and they could change everything. Chloe felt she was standing at a major crossroads. Should she listen to this woman or continue to trust Jake? She knew that any decision would affect their future. And in that moment, a big question arose in Chloe's mind. Is love strong enough to overcome these secrets, or is it all just a shattered dream? As the streetlights twinkled reflecting on her face, Chloe felt a cold breeze pass through, as if a sign that unanswered questions were waiting ahead. She decided she would pursue the truth, no matter where it might lead.